No, I'm not buying it. But, man, come on, Gruden, own the darn thing. Look, my dad used to do this every time they'd play at Dallas because they'd beat them. Then they'd drive around the entire time. He'd do it every time. They just put it on the dang schedule that way, that they were going to take that bus trip. And you know what? It's like the greatest thing. But when you own it, you got to own it. You know, it's not, don't just backpedal out of it. I think when you backpedal out of it, you send the wrong message to your team. And so we'll find out how it's played today. But no, make no mistake. He wanted to do it. He was feeling good about it. Look, I've done it myself. But it's like, I mean, come on, own the thing, and I would have felt better about your team. Now, I will say this about this team. They played the second hardest schedule up until this point, and they find themselves at 6-3. And, yes, they have that win against the defending Super Bowl champs. This is a heck of a football team.
It is.
Man, oh, man. And Gruden and Mike Mayock, they built this thing to win these type of games, but I would have loved to have seen them own it.
That's extra motivation in my opinion. I mean, it's just something that how you handle it is exactly the way Andy Reid handles it. I heard the way Tyrann Mathieu handled it, all with class, but you remember it until you let it out there on the field. Because, I mean, if I'm the Kansas City Chiefs, I mean, you want to go ahead and do a little victory lap. The Kansas City Chiefs, their victory laps, they're parades. That's what they do because they win championships.
Wow.
That's our victory
maybe
lap.
a little
That's
higher.
what you tell them, and that's how you show them. I think there's a lot of extra motivation for the Chiefs because right now, I think they have to recognize it, Rex. The Raiders are a good team. They did hit you in your mouth, and they actually rubbed your faces in it. So what are you going to do about it today and then handle it out there in between the lines?
Yeah, and this is a team that is built for the sole reason to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. John Gruden, Mike Mayock, they are drafting, they are signing players to beat this team. And this is the start of it. But still, you hear like, oh, it's an uphill battle. This is the third time in a row they've scheduled us. The Chiefs are coming off a bye before they play us. This is still the big brother. And I think that's why today's matchup is so amazing. I think they sort of snuck up on Kansas City. Remember going into the last matchup? Hey, let's just make Derek Carr throw it over the top. He doesn't like to go deep. What did he do? He balled out. He threw the ball deep. Has he been throwing deep against everybody else? No, not really. Is he capable of it? Absolutely. And he did it against Las Vegas, and that's why they won. Sure, was Kansas City a little sloppy with the ball? Did Mahomes maybe just, was a little bit too much at the playground? Maybe, sure. But give Las Vegas the credit. They came out and won that game. And give Derek Carr the credit. 16 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's having an outstanding year. It's a little bit boring. It's not as exciting as everybody else, but it's very, very good football.
You know, stay aggressive, Matt, is what I would like the Las Vegas Raiders to be able to play at home. John Gruden, stay aggressive. You see how it played out the last game, and the reason why, because of the dink and dunk and what we've been seeing from that offense led by Derek Carr. They went into Arrowhead and embarrassed this team. Why they should stay aggressive? Because all the talk that we're talking about Kansas City, they have Hill, they have Kelsey, they have Robinson, they have all these weapons. But guess what? We forgot about Waller. We forgot about Aguilar. We forgot about Renfro. So for me, the Las Vegas Raiders, we just talked about, Rex, you put up a couple weeks ago about you dancing on Monday, making fun of Sean Payton. Why were you making Sean Payton? Because they were able to sweep the Tampa Bay Bucks 2-0. So for all of this moral victory and Teddy, as you talking about the parades, this would be a good moral victory for the Las Vegas Raiders and their organizations to be able to sweep the defending Super Bowl champions twice in one season. Yeah. It's a big game going down for the Las Vegas Raiders, and they have to stay aggressive.
It's so much easier said than done because Patrick Mahomes is over on that other side, and a motivated Patrick Mahomes. Ooh.
And if it's a perfect stage for Mahomes and the Chiefs to reestablish their grip on the division and their grip on the league. Here we are, Sunday night. I'm still Patrick Mahomes. Let me go out there and throw 4 touchdown passes against this rinky-dink Raider team. Make him look that way. This is what back-to-back champions look like, okay? When you get a team like this that's trying to come up in your space, all right, and take over your reign, you reestablish who you are in front of everybody. And so, no, we're not messing around. We're slapping these Raiders over to the side, and we don't take victory laps. We'll wait till our parade at the end of the year. This is what back-to-back champs do, and the Kansas City Chiefs have to do that tonight.
Well, I think we should get Teddy on a plane out to Vegas to give the pregame speech for the Kansas City Chiefs. I just want to say really quick, though, if the Raiders do win this game, what does that mean?
It means Kansas City's got to tighten the screws a little bit. They got a little bit loose. Like it's just been so easy for them. It's been so easy for Patrick Mahomes. You probably have to get back to, hey, maybe we don't get too cute. Maybe we protect the football a little bit better.
I disagree. I mean, it's more on the Raiders. The Raiders come out and win this game. Now they're because the Chiefs. You see how upset I am right now. The Chiefs should be ready. This should be your best game, Chiefs. Prime time against an opponent that beat you before and smacked you in the mouth and took a victory lap. So this is all about the Raiders saying, you know what? We're more than that. We'll beat you again. They go out there and do this again. I really think, the Chiefs now have to be looked as not that team that I'm seeing them as, but as the Raiders. Now, this is a legitimate contender if you can do this twice in a row.
I'll just say this. I've never been more interested to see what a bus driver does after a game than I am today. We still got more coming for you on Countdown Minnesota, where the Vikings have won 3 straight. They host the Cowboys today. Cowboys are going in the opposite direction, trying to avoid losing 5 straight in a season for the first time in 5 years. The Vikings still looking up at the Packers in the NFC North, not because of recent play, but because they started 1-5. Dalvin Cook has been the key. He has 590 yards with 6 touchdowns during the streak. On the other side, Andy Dalton returns to the Cowboys after missing the last 2 games with a concussion and a positive COVID test. Dalton will try to stop the Cowboys' 4-game losing streak and get them back into the NFC East race. So, Rex, who has the better chance, if either of them do, of climbing back into that playoff spot between the Cowboys and the Vikings?
Well, the obvious answer is Minnesota, because they're a much better team on a 3-game win streak. Dalvin Cook has been an absolute beast. But, man, come on, that NFC East is such a darn bad division that you almost have to say Dallas. Look, if they win 7 games, they got a great chance. So I'm going to have to say Dallas.
Situationally, not because of the actual capabilities of their team right now. Interesting. Well, let's get to Florida, where the Steelers are on an incredible run as they take on the Jags today in Jacksonville. A team Big Ben has had his fair share of struggles against, believe it or not, but Pittsburgh remains perfect for now, despite winning some close ones. Last time